this is like 2006. I did a music video I was telling you with Jason Miller, and this actor shows up, very famous actor, well known, and he didn't really, I don't think he really knew what he was getting himself into, but he showed up on set and he's kind of like, where am I? You know, like he was late, they couldn't find the set, and he was upset about that. And I think he was like, whoever greeted him, they didn't get a very good vibe from him, and they were like scared and they ran off, and there was like some other shouting and whatever happening. And I was like, and I think my personality as just myself, like I don't really like let that stuff penetrate. I just listen to what they're saying, and I try to like take what they're saying and react to it logically and, you know, with empathy. So I listened to what this guy was saying, and he was definitely trying to test. This was my first time getting tested as a director, and I'd heard of this happening before, and I'd seen it on other sets, but I never had to experience it myself. And it was definitely like a challenge for a second, but I anticipated this. So what I had done was, I heard that he could get a little testy in certain situations. So I found out what his favorite food was. I found out what kind of stuff he likes to have around him, what kind of environment he likes to be in, and I made sure that was there for him, right? So I had him in a private room. It was like a really nice sort of like penthouse area in the area that we were shooting. Very comfortable place, nice couches, pretty makeup lady, and delicious vegan food, which is what he liked. And I walked up to him. He was in the middle of a little bit of a tirade. It wasn't a super big one, but it was definitely like there was irritability in his eyes and his voice. And I just walked up to him and I was like, "Hey, thank you so much for coming. Don't worry, we have your favorite food upstairs. You know, I forget the makeup lady's name at the time, but I was like, she's ready, waiting for you. You know, whatever you need, she's there. Whatever you need. Also, we have a couple cool props for you, and you're going to be playing a guy that's 500 years old and has the ability to affect people through the use of cell phone technology." And he was just kind of like, and I gave him something to like think about for a second. He was like, "Oh, it's gonna be a cool character." So he like went upstairs with it and came back down. He had like one fingernail painted black and like a crazy cane that he had found up there, and he was like walking with a limp. And I was like, "What's the limp for?" And he's like explaining his character's backstory to me, and he came up with all this stuff. So I gave him a bunch of stuff to work with to keep him happy and distracted, but also he took all that and made a better character out of it. So, you know, you just gotta direct that energy. As a director, you gotta take whatever energy is coming towards you and make it somehow funnel it to where it's gonna make your film better. So if they're coming at you with some negative energy, I think you gotta take that and convert it into either something for their character, or, you know, give them something to direct that towards, so it becomes either diluted or good energy.
How old were you at the time?
So that's 2006, so like 22 or 23 years old.
Wow. Wow. And how did you feel after you saw that you were able to turn around what could have been maybe a tricky situation into what sounds like a really positive one?
I didn't really think about it until like long after. I was like, I just heard about stuff in advance, so I wanted to prepare myself. Again, I over prepare when I'm nervous about something. So I think I just chalked it up to that, you know. And later on, I realized that could have been really bad if it didn't work out the way it worked out. You know, it might have been a big problem, because we only had that actor for like 3 or 4 hours, and I had to shoot as if he was in the whole video. So I needed to get cooperation quickly, and thankfully I was able to do that. But it could have gone way wrong if it didn't go the way it went. If I would have just not been prepared and not known, you know, done my homework. I think that's another thing too. You got to show respect to these people. You know, like you have to acknowledge their body of work and basically give them the respect they deserve from being in these films. Maybe they're asking for more sometimes than you might think they deserve, but you got to give it to them, because they are, you know, working their ass off and putting themselves in front of a camera, which is a risky situation, especially if you're in a bad film. It could hurt your career. It could destroy their career if they're in a couple bad films. So there's a lot on the line for them. I think it's a lot of pressure on their end as well. Gotta just acknowledge that and be empathetic towards it.